after crashing into a birthday party and taking the lives of 2 children.
Everybody,
This grandma was nothing compared to the one who accidentally overdosed her grandson, ending him in minutes.
Hey, Steph.
Baby, go.
That is your grandson lying there dead on the couch. Look at that.
No.
These grandmas weren't the sweet storybook kind. They turned out to be unexpected nightmares for the kids around them. On March 30th, 2024, a frantic 911 call was made by 58-year-old Stephanie Shanks, reporting that her 5-year-old grandson, Charles Anthony Brown, was unresponsive and cold with a nosebleed. She claimed he died in his sleep while she was babysitting him and his siblings.
A child has died in his sleep. He went to sleep as he is. Please come, please.
Ma'am. What is going on with your child?
He laid down, went to sleep, and I was on the couch with him. Me and my he's my grandson, and he won't wake up. He cold as ice. His nose was bleeding. I wiped his nose, and he didn't move.
Okay, ma'am, how old is he?
5. I was babysitting him, and he's cold as ice. He's cold. He won't move.
There's no breathing at all or anything?
No, nothing.
First responders arrive at the Dayton, Ohio home and immediately find Charles unresponsive and stiff with no signs of life. Efforts to resuscitate him were useless, as he was clearly deceased.
It's other 2.
Hey, Steph.
When was the last time you saw him?
10 or 15 minutes ago, did I call you?
No. When was the last time you saw him moving?
It's 10 or 11 or so.
10 or 11 last night?
Yeah.
Does he have any health issues or anything?
No, he wasn't. Nothing.
Okay, and you said you saw him last night?
Yes, about 10. I mean, he went in that position, and then that's where he was at, and then I seen some.
So when you saw him, he was sleeping?
No, I got up this morning, I wiped his nose, and something coming out of his nose.
Okay, so about
And
10
I
this
wiped it, and
morning?
the stuff is still in the toilet. I put it in the toilet, I didn't flush it. And
Okay.
then he didn't move. And I called his mama.
And how old is he?
5.
Officers established the facts that the kids were staying with their grandparents for the night.
Staying with your grandparents, right?
They stayed the night here. They don't live here.
No, so they were just visiting, supervising the kid.
Probably babysitting someone going out, which is fine. I don't.
Once we get the information, I'll call the coroner. I'm sure he'll want to come out. It's wildly unusual.
A man approached the house claiming to be the kid's mother's boyfriend. The mother also arrived at the scene, in deep distress, but was not allowed inside the home.
Hello, do you know them inside of there? Yeah, how do you know them? Were you neighbors or something?
That's my girl. It's my girl kids.
Okay. Who are you to them?
I'm her daughter boyfriend.
Yeah, unfortunately, nobody can go in there right now, so.
Why?
Sorry, you can't go inside right now.
Why can't I go inside?
Come here.
Please, I just want to see my baby. Please.
No. He said we're not letting her in.
Oh my God.
We'll have to talk to her. We'll have to
She
talk to
said he
her.
woke up like this. I don't know. Please let me go see my baby.
Is that correct?
32 weeks, yes.
Okay. Any other medical issues?
No.
No complications?
No,
or anything?
none.
Thank you.
No.
I'm sorry?
My baby gone.
Stephanie explained she last saw Charles alive the previous night around 10 or 11 p.m. He had laid down on the couch saying he was tired and then never woke up.
10 or 10:30 or 11, something like that. Little Charles came and said, "Mom, I'm tired, I'm sleepy." I said, "Well, get up on the couch and lay down and go to sleep."
What did he look like when he said I was tired?
He didn't really look, he looked tired in the eyes, but he didn't look like, nothing I would notice.
Was he acting weird? Was he like stumbling or maybe like nodding off?
No, he was just tired, just moving slow.
Wasn't nodding off?
No.
Okay.
Inside the home, police observed suspicious items, numerous straws, white powder, and drug-related paraphernalia. and she was taken to the station for further investigation. Stephanie explained that she had been watching the kids since Friday morning because daycare was closed for Good Friday. She claimed nothing was out of the ordinary that day, and the kids played until nightfall.
Can you help me understand all the straws and stuff that are laying around? And the white powder and substances that are laying around?
Well, that was from me doing boy earlier then, but it wasn't me doing boy now.
Okay. You doing boy earlier as in when?
Friday.
And just for clarification, boy is heroin, correct?
When on Friday were you doing it?
That morning.
That morning?
Before they got there.
Around what time?
About 7. I had it that night, but I did it that morning. Because I didn't know I had to watch the kids. I thought I had to watch them at...
I get that, yeah. You thought you had an extra day.
Yeah.
I get it.
So I did it.
Investigators find white residue in a cigarette pack and other areas in the home. They suggest Charles may have accidentally come into contact with fentanyl-laced substances.
I think that Charles overdosed.
No, he didn't overdose.
That's my suspicion, all right? Now we're going to find out some more when he goes through an autopsy, all right? We're going to find out some more from his blood results.
But it wasn't nothing in there when he went in the bedroom. I did it all. It wasn't nothing but dust on the thing. That's all that was on there.
So when was he in there?
He wasn't in there. He was not in there. The little girl, she went in there late that night. It was gone in. And it was all off the straws and everything. I licked the straws because I didn't have no money. That's why I did that.
When did you lick the straws?
3 days before.
3 days before?
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, there was residue in the cigarette pack that you had with the straw on the table.
But it wasn't nothing in the cigarette pack. Honestly, I'll tell you the truth. It wasn't nothing.
And here's the thing, like, I know that there might not be very much, or not an amount that you would ever pay for, or not an amount that you would consider to be anything, but you and I both know that drugs to an adult, drugs to someone who uses regularly, that's going to be a different amount than someone who's small. Now, you might have had it on your fingers, you might have had it on that table, you might have had it on other things. But the thing is that you regularly have heroin in that apartment. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah. And go ahead.
But it wasn't nothing in there, but dust in there. But how could dust even do anything to him?
And so when we say heroin, it's not the heroin that we are talking about from, the 90s.
Okay.
There's so many different forms of opioids that are killing people, and ultimately we will probably find out that this is some type of fentanyl. So you don't have to have grams to kill micrograms, especially for someone who is only 30 pounds. It's a huge amount.
The officers asked her about the man named Greg she obtained the drugs from.
You want to give me some more information about Greg?
Well, I don't know him that well.
How did you get a hold of him?
I don't know.
Here's the thing. Here's kind of what's going to change my opinion about you, okay? Because I saw your daughter's broken heart when she saw her deceased, her dead son, who had been dead for hours, okay? I saw your grandson who had been dead for hours.
Stephanie finally acknowledges that she regularly uses heroin and that the residue could have been left behind, but continues to struggle with accepting that this led to Charles's death.
If we find that there's some heroin,
if you find it.
correct. If we find heroin in his body, would you agree with me that you're right?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to do all that. We're going to pull his blood and we're going to identify what substances are in his body. Okay. But I can tell you that he didn't just die this morning. Based on how he looked, his body had already started to decompose. He had been dead for some time.
On your phone, who is Bonk HD?
I don't know who that is.
And you called somebody named Bonk/HD.
I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is.
You called him 4 times yesterday between 7:40 a.m. and 11 a.m.
As one investigator steps out of the room to take a closer.
The investigation turns pretty intense as the officers press Stephanie for answers.
On a certain level, I don't care about your drug habits. What I care about is Charles is dead. Charles is over at the coroner's office right now.
I believe that when I hear about from the autopsy.
Well, he's dead, right?
Yes.
He's dead.
Yes.
He died in your apartment.
Yes.
Okay? So if we're going to sit in here and talk, I want you to be truthful about things, or walk out that door.
Okay. I just looked at the phone. You text Bonk HD as well to buy heroin.
The what?
To buy heroin. You're really starting to make me mad. Again, the store's always open. Like, he's done a phenomenal job telling you that you can walk out here anytime. You buy drugs with Bonk HD. You're lying. You being dishonest is not going to get you anywhere. There's a dead child.
Your grandbaby. For God's sake. I prayed with your daughter over your dead grandson. Your dead grandson, and you're lying about buying drugs. Are you kidding me? Do you love your grandbabies?
No.
Do you? Then prove it.
Consistently you lie. And then we have to confront you with what we know, and then you tell us the truth. It doesn't matter. There's a dead baby. There's a dead baby. You for trying not to get yourself in trouble, but we have to look at this. That is your grandson lying there dead on the couch. Look at that.
No.
Look at that.
No.
Because of your actions, and you're still sitting here trying to deflect the truth.
No, I'm not.
These lights are on.
No.
The truth will come out in this room. Someone will be held responsible for this dead child. It's unacceptable. And what frustrates me the most is that you are unwilling to take accountability for what has happened. You have given us partial truths. That's not okay.
Here's the thing. At the end of this, my partner and I, you, whenever you're done, we're going to walk out of this room, all right? We're going to go back to our families, all right? Charles is over there alone in a bag. And tomorrow morning, my partner and I are going to come in here on Easter morning, Resurrection Day, and we're going to watch the examiners examine your grandchild's baby, your grandchild's body, all right? I'm not worried about people getting in trouble and all this, all right? What I'm worried about is the truth, and actions have consequences. You know that. That's why you've been lying to us.
No, I've been lying because I didn't want to get nobody in trouble.
What's more important to you? Someone getting in trouble or the fact that your grandson is dead?
If I'm dead.
Then prove it or walk out that door. Prove it or walk out. Or we can close this door and we can talk about the truth for the sake of Charles over there, who's alone. What do you want to do?
Stefan then finally revealed the truth.
He's my regular drug supplier.
He's your regular drug supplier. So I can ignore what you said about Greg at the store?
Yeah.
That was a lie?
Yes.
Okay. So yesterday you had the case?
Yes.
And you had got some drugs in the morning before they were there?
Yes.
But then you tried to get more drugs?
Yes.
What was different that you were trying to get more drugs? And the kids were there?
Because I wasn't feeling too good. I wasn't feeling well.
Like dope sick?
Yeah.
Even after the confession, the officers wait for the autopsy reports.
You know, science takes a minute, right?
Yeah.
So when we get those results, when we get your results and it says that, you know, that you have maybe some heroin and some fentanyl in your system, you're not going to be surprised, right?
No.
When we find that in his system, what are you going to tell me? What are you going to tell Charles?
That I had to, my fault, I killed him.
Back at the crime scene, 5-year-old Charles's body is taken away in the coroner's van.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Please, no, put me back there. No, put him back there.
A toxicology report confirmed that 5-year-old Charles Anthony Brown died from fentanyl and other illegal substances in his system. His death certificate noted that the time between exposure and death was just a matter of minutes. The official cause of death was ruled accidental. Stephanie Shanks, 58, later pleaded guilty to felony involuntary manslaughter and 2 misdemeanor counts of child endangerment. She was sentenced to a prison term of 4 to 6 years. Officers responded to a call from a mother who claimed her mother, Mildred, arrived uninvited at her daughter's home while the daughter was at work and forcibly took her grandson and hurt her boyfriend in the process.
Hey, what's up? So, who got stabbed?
Okay, all right.
Alright. You have anything to your neck or anything like that?
I got bad muscle spasms. I think they put on my hair too, so. But most of the time I got cuts, so they cut me up.
Okay.
Definitely assaulted me.
And they kidnapped my kid.
And they took the child.
Okay.
They say they're at West Florida Hospital with him.
Something like, I guess. And then I got the guy there across the street. He was helping me trying to get the ladies off me. If you want to talk to him too.
Yeah, we will. Are you mom to him, or what's your relationship to him?
That's my boyfriend, but my son, I'm mom to my son that they took with them kidnapped.
Okay.
So basically, her mother, people came over, right? And she was drunk. And I guess her son, which is my stepson, he unlocked the door. I was in my room. He just unlocked the door and let him in. They busted my house, literally. Started going crazy. She was drunk. She said, I'm drunk. So I was like, man, y'all need to get out of my house. You can't nobody just come in your house like that, barge in your house. So she barged in my house. And I was trying to move him back, push him off. I didn't hit him or nothing, because they ladies. So I just pushed him back and all that. The sister came around, grabbed my hair. The mama came around, and her daughter came around. All attacked me. They cut me up, pulled out my hair. They had a chunk of my hair. They yanked my hair out and everything. My neck is hurting. My neck got muscle spasm in it, literally, from them moving my head all the way around like that, literally.
Okay.
They came in and basically assaulted me in my own home.
I was at work.
She was at work.
Okay.
I'm the mom to the kid that's not here. That he picked him up from school and brought him here to the house that we all stay at. I don't know why my mom came here. I have not talked to her since Mother's Day. I told her I didn't want her to come here for Mother's Day because my mom has a drinking problem and she does drugs.
So you weren't here when this happened?
No.
No? Okay. How old is your kid?
6. I just want to put a kidnapping report. They say they took my kid to the ER to say that me and my boyfriend been abusing him so the DCF can take him and all this crazy stuff.
Okay.
And he was actually helping me too. My bad, I didn't mean to cut you off, but he was actually there helping me get the ladies off me.
Okay. Hold on a minute. I'm going to step back over there. It's hectic. I'm trying to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
Slow down.
I know. My bad. I'm sorry.
So, they bust in your house.
Yeah, so let me
who lets him in? Who lets him in?
The boy.
The boy?
Because he thought it was his mama. He don't have no neighbors or nobody coming to our house. So, and then his mom dude's like, hey, open the door. You know what I mean? Hey, Rayshon, open the door. So he thought it was.
What's his name?
His name Rayshon.
What vehicle did they get?
It was in a Ford. It was in a red Ford. Hey, man, it was in a red Ford, right? It was like a Ford. The car. It's a maroon Ford. Yeah, it got
maroon Ford. You know what kind of Ford?
Like a sedan photo. Like a sedan. Just a regular sedan photo.
Do you all want to pursue charges?
Yes.
Okay.
I would like to press charges. Definitely came in my house, attacked me, assaulted me. If I did that, then I would get press charges on me.
Was it her mom and her friend?
No, her mom, her sister, and the youngest daughter. They all attacked.
The woman tried calling her mother, and she was clearly drunk.
You can come and pick up my child. I'm not trying to come to Nuke House after her and Rod just came over here and jumped on Juwan and all that, and y'all done kidnapped Rayshon. Mama, can you please just drop Rayshon off? I don't even have nothing else to say. You sound drunk. Y'all see what I'm talking about? Did y'all hear that?
Yeah.
She's drunk. She's slurring. You hear it in her voice. That's how she talks.
Mildred allegedly took the child to a hospital and claimed that the child had been abused by the mother and her boyfriend. In an attempt to have the Department of Children and Families take custody, the child's mother said she has full custody and that her mother has no legal rights to the child. This wasn't the first time Mildred had done something similar, as she had caused problems at the mother's previous apartment too. The officers then tried talking to the kidnapping granny.
Are you the biological mom to the kid? Do you have full custody here?
His dad has. He was 5 months.
Okay. Your mom doesn't have a custody plan or anything like that?
No, and I actually called the police on her about 2 years ago because she did the same thing when I lived at my old apartment. I try to still have a relationship with my mom because she was my mother.
Yeah, understandable.
But she has a problem, and
What's your mom's first name?
Her first name is Mildred.
Mildred.
Mildred. I do not know what made her come to my house. This is the first time she has been to my house in like a year to just do this. I don't know. I really don't.
Okay.
I've seen her. I went to her house in Alabama. We have been good. We have been communicating. We have been talking. I think my mom is drunk and irate today. Is there any way y'all can get her to get my son back? She just took him. I don't know where she's at with him. She's drunk.
Yeah, literally.
She's drunk driving with him. She's had multiple DUIs before. That's why I don't never want him to be with her. She kidnapped my child. My child was at school. He picked him up from aftercare, and when they got into the altercation, she took my kid. She's had multiple DUIs.
Where did she live? Or where could she
Alabama. Evergreen, Alabama. She drove all the way from Evergreen, Alabama to come down here.
How far is that?
About an hour, 30 minutes away.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this missing kid. Can you fill me in?
No, it's no missing kid, sir.
Okay.
It's no missing kid or nothing like that. I'm his grandmother.
Okay, well, you don't have biological rights to the kid, so we need to know where the kid is. Where are you at?
In Pensacola, Florida.
Where specifically?
We can meet you at a corner store, the farmer's market on Davis, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that where you're at?
We can meet you there.
Well, no, we need to know where you're at right now. You do not need to move any further.
On Davis Highway.
Is that where you're currently at?
Yes.
Okay. I need to stay on the phone with you until the Escambia County Sheriff's Deputy can make contact with you. The farmer's market on Davis Highway.
So what do I need to do about my behalf?
Well, you can tell the Escambia County deputies when you get out there what's going on, but y'all, as of right now, y'all have this kid that doesn't belong to y'all. We need to have a deputy do a welfare check.
I got a question for if your kid was getting abused, what would you do? Just let him sit at your other woman's house getting abused by a man that you don't like?
I would call DCF and call the police.
Just think outside of your job, though.
Do y'all have any weapons with you?
No, we don't have any weapons, but I did get my ass beat by a man, and I got the picture.
Okay, and you're currently at the farmer's market, correct?
Yes, sir. Now, what's next?
Okay, y'all just stay on the phone with me. We're going to have deputies go out there and make contact.
What y'all do about Jawan?
About the kid?
About the man that put his hands on me.
Well, we'll handle that portion of the investigation over here.
Walking in on him putting his hands on my grandson, physically. Quartering him in the corner, like some type of slave. We not in back in the day.
What kind of car are y'all in?
It's a red car.
Who all is with you?
It's just me and my grandson.
Ultimately, deputies were dispatched. The child was recovered, and Mildred, along with the 2 other women involved in the break-in and assault, were arrested.
He was like saying like he done had Rayshon in the corner, he can't go nowhere and all this and that. I said, you done had him in the corner all day? He was like, yeah, whatever, this my house, I went there. And I was like, no problem. I said, I'm just bringing him back, you know what I'm saying? Then he got it going on, talking about you get out my house and all that. I was like, hey, wait a minute, I know my daughter probably pay some here too, but I'll leave y'all home though, you know what I'm saying? Then he got to going, he pushed me out the house and I'm like, hey, I'm finna leave, man. You know what I'm saying? So I had to protect myself, you feel what I'm saying? So going out their house, you feel what I'm saying? That's why I got these scars on me. And I left. And I took my grandson with me when I left, because I was dropping him off with me, yes. When I left, I was dropping Rayshon off to him. But when he got to going on like that or whatever and stuff like that, I just took my grandson with me, man. Fear for Rayshon, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
31 South Jail, 35.
It's just pending investigation. Okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Right here, can you spread your feet for me?
Yes, ma'am.
You can face the other way.
Okay. Spread my feet. You said?
Like that?
Yeah.
And you can spread your feet.
Yeah.
Do you have anything on you in your
No,
bra
ma'am.
or anything
No,
like that?
I don't.
All 3 women involved, Mildred, Yolanda, Mildred's sister and Ocean, Yolanda's daughter, had inconsistencies in their stories which made them suspicious. The grandma insisted she had no intention of kidnapping and claimed her daughter knew she was going to pick up the child.
Real fast, what is your name?
Mildred.
Tell me what happened. What's going on?
I came from Evergreen and to see my children, you know what I'm saying? And I stopped too because Rayshon is my only grandson. You know what I'm saying? I picked him up, everything was good. I was dropping him off and everything. And I said, can I use the bathroom? He was like, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that was that, you know? And like when I went to the bathroom and my sister and them came in, Yolanda and her daughter, they came in. And I don't know what conspired because I was in there using the bathroom. Because I asked him, can I use the bathroom? Drop Rayshon off, can I use the bathroom? He said, yes. So I don't know what conspired or whatever happened or whatever. When I came out the bathroom, everything was like, you know what I'm saying? And then I was like, what's going on? He was like trying to push me out of the house. I was like, what's going on or whatnot or whatever. So I was like, hold on, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? Because we've already had stuff prior. You know what I'm saying? I broke my ankle or whatever and stuff. But I still accept him because my daughter loved him. You feel what I'm saying? You can't help who you love.
Right.
According to her, all 3 of them were already with the kid, and the altercation happened when they stopped to drop him off. But that wasn't what Yolanda and Ocean said.
What is your name?
Yolanda.
So kind of give me a rundown of what happened and why we are here now.
Okay, my sister come in town. We go over to Pace to meet with my mother-in-law and my grandson. She was supposed to go see her grandson also. I don't think the daughter was off. I know for sure she wasn't off work, but we're ready to come back to Pensacola. So we stopped by to see the grandbaby. Okay, so I'm sitting in the car. Her and they went in. They come back out, and I was like, how do I use the bathroom? She was like, I just use the bathroom. So, you know, we have history, but I'm thinking things are fine. I asked.
can I use the restroom? He let me in. Okay, so while I'm using the restroom, I hear him saying something to my daughter, so I come out. I say, well, it's no problem, I can go. You could have just said no, you know what I mean? Because I don't care, you know what I'm saying? So I come out the door. There was a bunch. He said, y'all coming by here like everything okay? He's ranting. So I'm telling my sister, let's go, let's just go. I don't want to be involved. So she didn't leave. Well, she was just trying to see about her grandson. So I walked off because I swear I don't want nothing to do with it. I walk off. I do what I can to break them up. After we break them up, he's at the car trying to get the grandson. The grandson is running to the car. The child has fear in his eyes. Yeah. I mean, we're looking at her house and stuff. But it's something has to be done. It's been going on for years. So that's basically what happened.
Okay.
And then I didn't want to go for questions because I'm like, she's already mad at us. I don't want her mad at me. That's between her and her mom and them. You know what I mean? I just didn't want anything to do with it. But I can speak the truth. They're abused.
You and Ocean go back to the car? And then
I'm saying, he's saying he's calling the police, and I'm telling Diane it was a light-skinned guy that was there. It was a neighbor or something. And I'm like, would you please call the police? Call the police. Because he's saying he's calling, but I don't know if he's calling. And I want somebody to call. So I'm looking at him like, would you please call the police? He's just... So I walked off. And then I heard the little boy saying, don't hit my granny, don't hit my granny.
Obviously, y'all never made it to West Florida. So what...
In the process of going to West Florida, when she was taking me to drop my grandson off, the officer called her phone.
Okay.
And so they were going to meet him at the farmer's market, and she was going to go on to Alabama. So once the kids took him to meet him at the Dollar General, she was going to go on. But, we couldn't, because you got to see about this.
Okay.
Yeah, but we just a family. We trying to stick it out. You have to wait on them to make that move. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes now you got to kick in. And if a child is being involved, a child is involved. And you can just look at the little bit. His eyes are sucking, his skin, he's abused. All of us went in to use the restroom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She was outside after I come out.
Okay, so
and they were back and forth.
First?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
No, she used it first.
Oh, she used it
then
first.
I used it.
Then you did. Okay. And then
I think my daughter did too. I'm not sure.
Okay. And is that Ocean?
Yes.
Okay. How do you spell your first name?
Ocean, like the water.
So give me a rundown of what's happened this evening up until why we ended up here.
My auntie came in town. We went to Milton to see her baby father first. Then we went to her daughter's house, and in the midst of us going to her daughter's house, her daughter wasn't at home, but her grandson and her daughter's boyfriend was there, which is my auntie Mildred. It was me, my mama, and my auntie. So me and my auntie were in the house or whatever, and when we went in the house...
And auntie, that's Mildred?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rayshawn was like shook up, and she was like, Rayshawn, what's wrong? And the boy was like, which is Juwan, he was like, he in trouble and for getting in school. So she was talking to Rayshawn and was like, basically, don't let nobody get you in trouble in school. Your stepdaddy not telling you nothing wrong. I can't go over what Juwan say, because at the end of the day, this your stepdaddy. I'm not here with you. You got a mama. After that, my auntie used the restroom, and I actually used, well, my auntie used the bathroom first, then I used the bathroom. He really didn't want to let me use the bathroom. But mind you, I already knew that because him and my mama had an incident before, like in the past. So, he was like, yeah, he used the bathroom, so I'm going to use the bathroom. So my mama, when we pulled up, my mom was like, she wasn't going to go in because, like I said, they had an incident before, and he disrespectful. So when my mom went in, I asked him for her first. I was like, my mama finna come in and use the bathroom, and that's fine. So when she came in, she was like, I can use the bathroom. She was like, yeah, but y'all coming in here like everything cool. Y'all know I don't fuck with y'all. So I was like, Mom, just hurry up. Nothing gotta be said. So when he came out of the bathroom, I guess he was still going. And my mom was like, I just used the bathroom, but I'm finna go to one. I was like, I apologize, you didn't have to let me in here. So that's when he was like, get the fuck out of my house, get this. And I was like, you doing all that to your old lady auntie? Like, that don't make sense. You should never let us in here at this point. If you knew she wasn't here and you knew you don't like her mom with her auntie, why would you let us in here? So that's when he was like, he finna call the police on us because we trespassing and all this and that. He said that like 2-3 times. So my auntie, he walked out there by the car, and that's when my auntie had got out the car, and she was like, I brought my sister here. You feel me? I didn't think it was that much tension not to necessarily bring her here. So he was like, I don't give a get the fuck away from my house. Santa Rosa police don't play and all this and that. So he grabbed Rayshawn, like he snatched him up and was finna take him in the house. So my auntie was like, what you grabbing on him like that for? Just let him go with me. His mama can come get him. So in the midst of her walking in the house behind him, he like slammed the door, like shut the door on her face, and like reached out there and grabbed her hair. He let my auntie go, and my auntie walked out there by the car, and he pushed my mama out the way because Rayshawn he was in the back seat while they was tussling. And I was up there with Jawan and my auntie, and I was like, just let her go, just let her go. So Rayshawn and my mama walking back down there. Rayshawn get out of the car. So Rayshawn, he like, Jawan. I'm like, you hit her from the like, just stop. He comes to the window, like banging on the window, trying to pull Rayshawn out the car by his shirt. And I'm like, Jawan, that's a baby. Just get away from the car. Let him out the car. Just stop doing that in front of him. So that's when he go to say, oh, I'm a bitch if you don't get out this car and all this. So he was like, so that's when my mom was like, just call his mama. So my mama stopped. Like, she stepped back away from the car and she was like, just call his mama. She told my auntie, just call his mama. But she's so in her head and her feelings to where she just want to take him away from him because she felt like if he went back in there that the boy probably would have took it out on him. Because I guess he already be putting his hands on him and stuff like that. So after that, that's when we got in the car. And Rayshawn was like, I don't want to go back or something, so we left. My auntie still crying. We went across the street to the store. Rayshawn mama texts. My auntie was like, if Rayshawn not back in 15 minutes, it's going to be hell and all this and that. So I'm going to jail and all this and that. So my auntie told her, like, he beating on you. You think it's okay for him to beat on that baby, and that's not right. But like I said, it's deeper than what I know too. Maybe her daughter was getting into it and she wasn't supposed to pull up out there. But it was just a respect thing. You should never let us in, bro. But I ain't even share words with him. It wasn't even no tension. Like when me and my auntie was standing there talking to the baby, he was afraid of what she was saying about the school situation. Like they ain't get into it. They wasn't arguing. When he hopped out when she got out the car and was like, you feel me? I apologize for bringing her out here. That's when he just kept going, oh, I don't feel with y'all. Like he was just trying to make that a point. But you should never let us in your house. If it was that much of a harassment, you told us 3-4 times that you was gonna call the police. You should have called the police. My mama done got into it with the boy. The boy done threw food at me before. Like my auntie done had to go to the rescue plenty of times to save her daughter from him. So I guess she felt like she had the right. But I don't know. Rayshawn was telling his granny to calm down. It was just too much. I just wish she would never let us in. And I had to tell my mom at the store, I said, Mom, I just got a bad feeling about us going over here. I don't know why, but I just got a bad feeling. And I was like, I hope she just turned around and go back to Mexico. And she kept saying, I want to see Rayshawn, I want to see Rayshawn. And when we go in the house, Rayshawn like standing up against the wall, his face in the wall, like just shaking. And she asked him like, what's wrong? And the boy like talking for Rayshawn.
According to Yolanda and Ocean, they were trying to rescue the kid as they believed he was being abused. Mildred was frustrated with her daughter, claiming her daughter had lied about her living situation, and she believed her actions were justified because the child looked neglected, sad, and hungry, and that the house was dirty. She claimed the boyfriend had previously hurt her daughter.
When it comes to my grandson, and he's in fear, and he get in the car with me, and I don't ask no questions, and he just tell me stuff, I feel some type of way. And that's my grandson. Right. You know what I'm saying? So he's telling me or whatever and stuff like, and I'm like, well, if he ever did anything to you, no ma'am. He do something to your mama. He always jump on my mama, do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? Son, we can't control that as long as he don't do nothing to you. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm dropping him off proper, decent, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how I picked him up. And that was it. And things went just...
And what'd y'all go and do?
We just went to the park because she went and got her grandson. We went to the park. We hung out a little bit. I take him to McDonald's, got him something to eat because he liked chicken nuggets. We used to call him. So he liked chicken nuggets. I took him there. And then we was headed back. And that was it. And I don't know, well, you know what I'm saying? It conspired it.
Your daughter knew you were going to pick him up?
Yeah, she knew that. Okay. And then how she is, I'm going to tell you now, no lie. That's just like, I was staying with her before I moved to Evergreen. I was staying with her, right? Right. And
about 2 years ago?
Yep. I was staying with her, right? And she lied then and was saying like I wasn't even staying with her and like I was homeless and I was living from pillar to pole. This my daughter talking to me, talking about me, you know what I'm saying? But I just didn't have nowhere to live. Not of my own. But my sister got a house. I got somewhere to live, you know what I'm saying? And I got a house in Evergreen. That's why I moved to Evergreen. You feel what I'm saying?
During police questioning, she seemed surprised by the kidnapping charge, insisting she had permission to pick up the child and only started drinking after the incident.
At this point in time, you didn't have permission.
From what she said?
From what we're being told.
No, what want me to say it?
Our understanding, you didn't have permission to have him at all.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's how kidnapping works.
Oh, okay.
Have you been drinking tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you thought it was safe to drive in a car intoxicated with a child?
No, I wasn't drinking and driving with Rayshon.
Okay.
I wasn't intoxicated then. I started drinking after the fact. Yes.
Okay.
I wasn't drinking when I was with him. I drank after the fact that happened.
Okay.
Police were frustrated by the multiple contradictory statements from the group, with no one taking clear responsibility and each person shifting blame. Despite claims of good intentions, all 3 women were ultimately charged with kidnapping and burglary with assault, based on witness testimony, security footage, and the child's removal from the home without legal authority.
So, but as of right now, it's looking like kidnapping and battery charges is what it is, from the witnesses, the footage, and all of that we've got. Okay.
That's unbelievable. I don't have nothing to do with anything.
So I'm going to jail tonight.
More than likely.
For what?
Kidnapping, battery, and burglary. Being in the house when y'all were told to leave.
I got out of his house. What in the fuck? Oh, pay y'all $1,000 to let me go. I did not touch him. Like, I was the only peacemaker, bro. Something I did not do. Why? Why is it not just them? I understand I was there, but I did not touch him.
Everyone's got a different story.
What is the stories? I don't get it.
Well, one story is they picked up Rayshon earlier and all of y'all are together. Then there's another story that, nope, we were just stopping by the house. We didn't have Rayshon earlier. What am I supposed to do? I can't get a single thing straight between 3 of y'all so far.
I'm telling you.
Who am I supposed to believe? Who's lying to me about what happened tonight?
Them, obviously.
Your mom and your auntie?
I'm just trying to help, but I see that I'm getting myself in a worse situation. Like, I didn't even have to walk him up there. Like, it didn't have nothing to do with me. I was just there, literally. I did not touch him. What if I kidnapping it up? What am I walking to somebody else's house for? I don't even stay in Milton. We wouldn't have came out there if it wasn't for my auntie. Like, I don't understand why I'm not getting... Bruh, he is doing this because he don't like me, bruh. I did not touch him. I promise you I didn't.
He didn't pick and choose. He just said flat across the board he wants to pursue charges on what happened tonight. If he was going to pick and choose, I don't think he would be like, okay, yeah, I don't want to charge her, but I'll charge this one. But you're telling me a different story from your auntie, from your mama. So unless somebody's
I don't have no reason to lie. I don't feel like I'm in trouble, but I don't feel like I'm in trouble. I don't have no reason to lie to you.
Why are you going out there to see Rayshon if you already had him earlier in the day?
My auntie had him.
And y'all were all together.
I told you I wasn't with them when they went and got Rayshon.
When everybody's telling me a different story, yeah, everybody falls under the same charges.
The man told you I put my hands on him. Oh.
That all 3 of y'all were fighting him.
I was breaking it up. Jawan slapped the shit out me way before then at my house. Did I call? I don't have no, like, what?
I've got 4 different stories telling me 4 different things.
What's different about them telling you they had him earlier in the day?
There's quite a bit of difference as far as how it transpired in the house, outside of the house, out by the car, nothing happened by the car, plenty of differences.
I'm telling, if the man telling you seen the footage, then you know that I'm telling you what happened.
You can thank them for all of it then. If they don't want to sit here and tell me the truth, it's on them.
The tragedy happened during a child's birthday party at Swan Creek Boat Club on April 20th, 2024. A 66-year-old woman named Marshall Chedester, reportedly drunk, crashed her car into the party, injuring 15 people, including 9 children.
As Mariah grabs cake pops at the dessert station for her kids, the defendant barrels at full speed down Branchaw Road and makes a right turn into the club parking lot.
It's just released video from a kid's birthday party. A car has just slammed through the wall of a boat club. Everyone is in a state of shock.
Everybody, everybody!
You can still see the balloons from the circus-themed party. They lift the SUV trying to get to the injured.
2 children, 8-year-old Alana and 5-year-old Zaid, died at the scene. Others had severe injuries. Mother of the 2 children woke from a coma to learn her 2 youngest kids had been killed, and her oldest was airlifted in critical condition.
She told me that Jaden was life flew to a hospital and Zane and Alana were no longer there.
Chedester claimed she had a seizure and only drank 1 glass of wine, but surveillance showed her drinking throughout the day.
Have you been drinking at all today?
A little bit, yes.
Okay. When's the last time you had something to drink?
Probably like a half hour ago.
Half an hour ago? What did you drink?
Wine.
It shows that in the hours leading up to the crash, the 76-year-old walked through her kitchen, grabbing bottles, pouring glasses, and drinking. Then at 2:10 p.m., she's drinking again. And at 2:30, just 30 minutes before she got behind the wheel, she walks into the kitchen, refills her glass, and walks away. The crash happened around 3 p.m.
Her blood alcohol level was over twice the legal limit at the time of the crash. She was convicted on 8 counts, including 2 second-degree murder charges. Victims' families filed a civil lawsuit against Chedester, the boat club, and a local bar that allegedly served her alcohol while visibly intoxicated. On January 6, 2023, police responded to a school call about potential child abuse after a security guard noticed a student with one eye swollen shut and called the cops on the spot.
I contacted grandma. The young girl switched up her story 3 different times to administrators, so they saying our story's not straight. Parents stay in New York.
What's her injury at?
The eye. It's a big knot to the eye. So that's
she said she got the wound. Grandma punched her, or what did she say?
They were just about to get to that, what grandma said. So when you spoke to grandma, what did she say happened? Grandma said that she explained that there was some situation with the teacher. The teacher had called here. She was getting in trouble with that, but she didn't explain exactly what happened. She said that her exact words were, she was so disrespectful to me yesterday. And so she said, I gave it to her good, so she's been crying all night, so her eyes might be puffy. But then, so puffy is different from, but she came down to the nurse. She asked me, can I talk to her, because she's taking her back to New York this week. Talk to her, and she'll be coming down to the school, grandma says, later on today. Before I could even talk to her down, she comes down to see the nurse in the morning, and that thing is like, her eye is asleep. Can we see it?
The girl gave different stories to 3 school administrators about how she got injured, causing confusion.
All right, babe. I'm Officer Montgomery. Okay, this is Sergeant Lampert, okay? And we just want to talk about exactly what happened, okay? Is that okay with you? And we're going to talk with the administrator and the other officer here, okay? Is that okay? So, from your side, can you explain to me exactly what happened to your eye and how did it all start?
I got in trouble at school yesterday.
Okay.
That wasn't true. And they called my parents. Well, they called my grandma and told her. I asked her, could I go outside? And when I did, she did tell me yes. But she didn't realize that she did tell me yes instead of telling me no. So when I went outside and came back, and I guess she was out looking for me. Because one of my friends had called me and said, Grandma Lucy is looking for you. Where you at? Because they thought I was at her house. And then I did curse at her. She had hit me, but normally she wouldn't hit me.
What time did you return home? What time did you leave?
I left around when I got off the bus, it was like 5:30, so probably like 5:50, and I came home at 6:15.
So after grandma confronted you with all of such, then what happened?
So then she started yelling at me and stuff, and she was jumping at me, and then when she did, she had hit me, and then she was telling me to get out the house and everything, and she was threatening.
No, you say hit, in what form of hitting?
She punched
slap, punch you, close fist?
Close fist type punch.
Would you say how many times?
Once.
You didn't hit your grandma or anything like that?
What happened when you said that you ended up swearing at her at some point. Was that before she ended up hitting you?
No, it was after she hit me.
After being hit, the girl swore at her grandmother, which escalated the situation. The grandmother called the girl's mother, but when she didn't answer, she dragged the girl downstairs and forced her out of the house, closing the door on her while she was in pajamas and socks.
Then what happened? After she hit you, you started cursing at her. What'd you do after that?
She called my mom because she was trying to see my mom could just talk to me because normally she does, and my mom didn't answer the phone. So she started dragging me down the stairs, and they dragged me out of the house and closed the door on me and told me to stop knocking on the door because if I do, she's gonna call the cops to come and take me because she doesn't want me in the house.
You said she dragged you by the stairs, down the stairs?
Down the stairs.
How did she drag you?
She just pulling me by my shirt and my hair and stuff, trying to get me out the house. And when she did, she had closed the door and went back upstairs and told me I couldn't come back in the house. And the only thing I was in was my sweatpants and my socks and my stuff.
She did drag you all the way out of the house? And you said you kept ringing the doorbell? How long did you stay outside the house?
I think it was about 15 minutes.
And when you kept ringing the doorbell and she answered, what happened?
She told me stop ringing her doorbell. If I do, she's gonna call the cops and tell me that she don't know me and that I'm random. And she told me to stop ringing that. All I could do was just pretty much just sit on the porch and wait for her to just let me back in.
Authorities contacted the grandmother, who initially blamed the injury on the girl being disrespectful to a teacher and claimed she gave her a good beating.
At this point, and you can verify, I am beyond the fact of tired, in which I'm going to take her back to New York on Friday. Just coming from my job, that I just got a new job, and I just told my supervisor that I'm going to take her back because she's not getting no better. It's getting worse. You understand? Okay. To any child. My granddaughter looked at me yesterday and called me she called me a. Do you understand what I'm looking at you because you know what I'm going through. I'm tired. Last night she took me to a place that I didn't want to go. But for her to be in my face the way that she was in my face, you understand, disrespecting me hard. She wanna, am I asleep? She wanna in my sleep.
The grandma was frustrated with the girl's behavior, including breaking phones, disrespecting teachers, and wanting a boyfriend despite her young age.
I don't know, I came here yesterday because she has this little boyfriend. You can't have no boyfriend. You ain't got time for no boyfriend. Your boyfriend is school. First of all, I'm her grandmother. My son is incarcerated, okay? I stepped up and I did what I have to do as a grandmother and as his mother, what he asked me to do. We lived in New York, we was in a fire, lost everything, and we moved down here for a better life. I just want a beautiful home right down here. I could take you to my house now and y'all can see which house she's living.
So can you just start off with what all happened yesterday?
She have a phone. I've bought her numerous of phones, and she dropped them, she broke them. I'm not going to get you another phone. She's on this, oh grandma, the other kids got an iPhone, go get me an iPhone. I have a little Android, I'm not buying you no iPhone. You do good with your grades, you do what you have to do, I'll give you the world. But if you in school and you acting like you raised by some, that's not going to happen because I raised you being very respectable. I'm up at this school all the time. She disrespects this lady right here. It's embarrassing to me because I don't raise you like that. So now I tried to bend and she came and she asked me, Grandma, can I have a boyfriend? I said, no, you can't have no boyfriend. Your boyfriend is math, science, that's who your boyfriend is. I said, but okay, he's a friend and he's a boy. You understand? So y'all could be friends, but it's no boyfriend and girlfriend like how, you understand? I'm none of that, okay? I'm coming back and forth. I take the phone from her.
That was what the argument started.
This is what's this is how this is what I'm saying. I'm leaving, and I'm not sure if since she's been with this boy, her attitude has changed. But I know he has a sister here named Imani, supposed to go here, right? Imani. So said to her, I said, well, I'm not buying you another phone. She has some type of way that she can still use the phone through a Wi-Fi or something to that effect. So you're still doing what I told you not to do. You're still defying my rules. Okay, fine. I'll let you go ahead and you talk. She came and she said, Grandma, I hope you don't get mad, but Langston, whatever his name is, wants to buy me a pair of Uggs. I said, what? So she said, yeah, he wants to buy me a pair of Uggs. He told his mother, and his mother is going to buy him the Uggs. At that time now, I'm saying his mother, well, I need to speak to his mother. Get on the phone with him. However, her phone, because her phone is broke. I don't know if you've seen her phone. Her phone looks like a jigsaw puzzle in the front. So I don't know how you talking to him, but y'all talking. I get on the phone. I said, hello, Langston. You're supposed to be Because I call her Nunu. You supposed to be Nunu's boyfriend? Yeah, I said, no, you're not. So you have no boyfriend. I said, what's this you about us? Can I speak to your mother? Nothing. She came home from school yesterday. Grandma, I hope you don't get mad, but remember you told me about the you asked me about? I said, yeah. She said, well, you bought them for me. If I can, I'll be right around the corner. I can take you home and bring you the Uggs that he bought for her. And I said, he got you Uggs. How's that? His mother bought it. I said, well, with all that being said, I would like to speak. You understand? I want to see, because I don't know if your boyfriend or whoever he was took it from your sister or he did or whatever, and I need to speak to your mother to see where her head is at.
Right.
Because you're buying a gift for a 12-year-old, something ain't right here. So with that being said, my son came home and he heard me arguing with her, and he's like, because he called her cheeky. What's going on?
Right.
So I said, well, prior to that, she had them got in my phone and went to my Shein, you know Shein?
Yeah, the app.
And ordered $106 of stuff in Shein on my phone. You understand? So everything that I'm saying to y'all, I got all rights to tail up. So now I called her grandmother, because her other grandmother lives in New York, and I told them that I was going to bring her back up. That was around the holiday. My fiance says to me, because we've been together for 30 years, he says to me, Ludo, let's not take her back to New York. Let's give her another chance. You understand? See what happens. And if she don't act right, when summertime comes, when she goes up to something, she'll just stay. So I called back to grandmother. That's the only reason why she's staying, because Rich said, so we're going to see how this is before the holiday. Last night, she got to go. So now when she's talking to her mother yesterday, she said, oh, you don't care about me, you gave me up,
So she talked to her mother yesterday?
She speaks to her mother all the time. She's a compulsive liar, so y'all know that.
Okay.
She'll put some tears on you in a minute. So that's why when I come to have...
She told us a different story.
Yeah.
So when I come here and I first had a meeting with her, and I felt kind of bad because she had everything planned, what she was going to tell me, I didn't really let her get a word in edgewise, because I was going to tell her, I know what I got. I have 4 grandchildren, a set of triplets. I know each one of them because I watched them. These adults here, I said, I don't know if you trying to make yourself look big for whoever, or you trying to prove yourself. I said, because you sound dumb. I said, you can't even really have an argument that makes any sense because of the dumbness that you're saying. She told me I was in a car accident. I have a screw in my leg. She said, that's why you was in a car accident. I said, that's what your comeback is? Oh, that's why you wear lace fronts. I said, you see, you still a kid. You look like a grown up, but your mind frame is a kid. So she's doing all of that, and the person is on the phone hearing you disrespect me. So I went over to her and I tapped them lips. So when I tapped them lips, oh, out of here, word to my mother. I said, oh, so you want to fight? You want to fight? Because you see, I'm small. So you would, oh, you sizing me up already. Okay. So I ran within my room because I had on my pajamas, put on my Uggs and my tights, and I said, come on, square up. What happened? What you want to do? You bad. Oh, if I hit you, I said, you see again, you're not bad. Because you saying, if I do this, and then when I say something, walk away, she running her mouth. So when she ran up, I ran up on her real quick, and she looked. I said, yeah, that's what I'm letting you know. Because the way that you're talking to me like you're a grown woman. And I'm a grown woman. And you know my reactions would be to another grown woman to do just what I did. So now she carried on. My fiance was downstairs. He came upstairs. He's like, what's going on? What's going on? She go in her room. She locked the door. Rich, go get the thing. You took the door off the hinges. You want to play? We're not going to do that. So we carrying on. She's like, I'm going to leave. I said, so get out. Go ahead. You got somewhere to go. Where you going to get out? She know grandmama. Like I said, I have no reason to lie because I'm living. I grabbed her by her shirt, boop, down the stairs, opened up my door, and I threw her outside and locked my door back. Now you crying, so that's why the eyes is puffed up, because that's how she was crying, and I closed my door, and I'm talking to her through the door. Oh, I'm cold. I'm a hypothermia. How you hypothermia, boo? I'm in the medical field. You can't do that. So she carried on. I said, oh, you got your friends. Oh, because Langston and come over here and he'll do this to you. I said, tell him to come on. I said, see, they done gassed you up and you the fool. You boo-boo the fool because they done gassed you up so bad. Like I said, I was just felt threatened for her, the way that she want to fight, and she on the phone with the people, and she telling them that they going to come to you and bring them to my house. I hit her. Didn't mean to hit the arm. No, I did not mean for it, but you know, every action has a reaction. And she had me to the point where...
You're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Girl, could you please say it again? I'm tired.
What led to the punch? The important part.
A lot led to the punch.
I get that. I get the emotional.
Yeah, totally.
I get the emotional part, okay? But when need you specific only. Sorry, I'm not forgetting. I get it.
It was just.
We do it.
It was just
you think
so.
your child is your child?
I got a 12-year-old.
It's just so much.
I've dealt with a lot of juveniles out on the street that I won't find.
And like I told her, you're not built for it. Do you know how I felt? And I'm saying to myself, me and my fiance have been together for 30 years. You know how embarrassed I feel?
To hear that from a child that you raised, yeah.
I can't. I don't want to send her back to New York because it wasn't. You understand? This is different. And I wanted to be down here because the growing up, I love Atlanta. I just love down here so much. The way the people treat me, I just love it. And I'm trying to give her a better way, but she don't want it. And I can't let her tell you, the guy that you was that here, he said to me, you gotta take care of you. And if I send her back to New York, I know I'm not going to sleep.
Police noted that physical punishment is legal in some forms. Punching a child causing injury is unacceptable and could have legal consequences. The girl's account of being dragged by the hair and shirt down the stairs and locked outside highlighted the physical and emotional abuse.
She's disrespectful. She left the house when you didn't want her to. She says things that she knows will tick you off, and you let her tick you off to the point where you have to lay hands on her, you drag her down the stairs.
Want her to stop.
Listen,
Okay, sorry.
to stop talking. That's the problem. Because she was saying things that was pushing your buttons as if it was another adult that was doing it, okay? You let a 12-year-old push your buttons. But as parents, we have to learn self-control because just like you said, you know, for every action there's a consequence, but that also applies to adults.
It does. I understand that.
Because if I showed you your baby's eye at the moment, you ain't gonna want to see it. Look at this. There's no excuses around this one.
It's not.
It's obvious that she was struck with something, but it caused this.
Did they all just pick up the knife?
Oh, we already got both sides. Both of their stories corroborated just fine. She already told us her story about it, so that's all we needed. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna tell you this, okay? It's ain't gonna be pretty.
What?
It's gonna be rough, all right?
I know it is.
The authorities plan to follow up and possibly intervene to ensure the girl's safety and well-being. Social services plan to take temporary custody of the girl due to safety concerns.
You're gonna be charged with 2 counts, okay? Battery, FBA, and cruelty to children.
I'm going to jail.
Social services will end up taking custody of her for now.
I can't. I tried, Rich. I tried, Rich. And you know I tried, Rich. Again, I'm so sorry. I did not know that. I just want the best for my granddaughter. That's why I brought her down here to give her the best life, to help her out. And look what it did to me. And I tried and I tried. Give her a better life. And look what it did to me.
Despite her remorse and claim that she only wants the best for her granddaughter, the grandmother is held legally accountable. She is processed for jail, with officers explaining procedures and helping her prepare for custody.
Give him the pen.
My supervisor.
I'm gonna just check you real fast so you end up getting in the car, okay? So just come in. All right. All right, separate your feet. Separate. Yep. There you go. You got a jacket on because it's cold out there. It's cold in there. He told you exactly where you're going? Fulton County Jail, Rice Street.
Fulton County. Make sure you call my arm.
All right, put your hands behind your back. Yeah, we do. So I can't put you in the back without it. If you want me to cut the air on or the heat on, let me know. Put your hands together like you're praying.
The grandmother faces 2 criminal charges: battery causing bodily injury and cruelty to children.